Hello, welcome to St. Peter Lutheran Church here in Trenton, Ohio. I'm Deacon Tammy, and with me I have Kevin, who will be sharing a little bit with us today about what it means to invite Jesus to the table. This may be your first time with us, and if it is, we've been doing a series of reflections throughout Lent on Jesus at the table. Kevin, would you like to share some of your thoughts with us, your reflection?
Absolutely. So I kind of thought about, like, when you first asked me, like, what did it mean to invite Jesus to the table? And, you know, your natural thing is to think about a dinner table, but for me, it was more about kind of how do I invite him into my life and, you know, that aspect. So kind of starting out, you know, I thought that, you know, people will come to the table at different seasons of life, or maybe you could say different, you know, we all have different reservation times. Some come early, some come later, but eventually, you know, we all come to that conclusion. As far as, you know, the invitation, you know, I look at it as kind of like, you know, how do you know, reflect Jesus to others? You know, are you involved, you know, in the church? Are you, you know, fellowshipping with other Christians, people in the community, doing kind of outreach activities, trying to, could be something simple as treating others with kindness. You know, how do you interact with others? That whole adage of iron sharpens iron, you know, to make yourself stronger. And then part of it is like, you know, sharing your faith with others, but I think it's also by sharing, you know, common experiences, you know, sharing life experiences, and then also kind of talking with, you know, people. You know, I work a lot with kids, and, you know, you help them through different experiences, and they don't necessarily always know how to navigate life, you know, because there's a lot of crazy variables going on, especially, you know, today. And then part of it, I think, you know, with inviting Jesus to the table is just kind of having that personal invitation. You know, it could be by reading his word. It could be just meditating. And then part of it too is just, you know, if you walk around, you know, it could be something as simple as watching the sunset, you know, seeing some of the wonders that, you know, God has created. So that's kind of what, you know, when I see the invitation piece, for me, it's more about just kind of being out and relating with other people and trying to share as much as you can.
Thank you for sharing, Kevin. There are times when we gather at the table and it's one-on-one with Jesus. And the table is mobile. It goes with us. That's a beautiful perspective. Thank you.
Okay.
This concludes our series. We hope that you have found it inspirational. We hope that it has given you food for thought at the table as you've journeyed through Lent. We invite you to join us for services if you're in town. If not, our thoughts and prayers go with you wherever life takes you, whoever is at your table and whatever table you join. Amen.